All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Hilmar. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming, of course, to today's Enteprise Chain Sim. I think Louis already introduced it quite well. And yeah, I want to use my little keynote slot to talk to you a bit about us at Gelato, what we do, like where we actually came from. We actually have a background in like enterprise Web3 that I want to briefly sort of chat about. And I want to introduce, I think, a topic that we are very passionate about, which you can coin the verifiable cloud, and sort of how it is different to what you're used to with blockchains today. And then some benefits for you as enterprises, especially not building there, and then going through some example use cases that exist already today in production. And then we actually have a small slot from our partners here. And I don't want to spoil now, we'll talk about like a really amazing enterprise use case that is already being built today. And to kind of like set the stage of the discussion. Of course, I'm very much looking forward to all the panels later on. A quick shout out again to Google for helping us organize this. We run a lot of our infrastructure on GCP, on Google Cloud. They're amazing partners and they help us really service our customers with high reliability. And yeah, as Louis already mentioned, today is really about connecting in our opinion, top Web3 companies in the space that are really at the forefront of innovation with some of the most well-known enterprises that exist. And we should form relationships. We should get to know one another. We should discuss about issues that exist, why enterprises are still not adopting Web3 to the extent that we sort of wish for, what problems have to be solved. And then, of course, eventually, potentially we can build together. And maybe some relationships will actually materialize into cool projects, POCs, maybe at some point Web3 becoming a core part of the stack of these enterprises. This is, of course, the dream that we all have. And so, yeah, that's the goal here. So let me start to talk a bit about us at Gelato here. So Louis and I, we founded the project in 2019. Back then still in Berlin. We then relocated to the beautiful Zug, which is around the corner in 2021. And actually before we started Gelato, we actually started as we started co-founding a blockchain consultancy in Berlin that helped enterprises actually build on Ethereum and experiment with smart contracts and everything. We worked together with projects such as Novartis, not sure if someone from Novartis is here today, Bayer, some European energy companies, and we really spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to solve their problems using smart contracts, Ethereum, etc. If you were around back then, you probably heard about technologies such as Corda or Hyperledger Besu or these kind of things. These were all like private blockchain technologies that were used, and we quickly realized that they really sort of combined the worst of both worlds, the worst of blockchain technology being like slow and user unfriendly with and really slow, and then with like the centralization and not the permissionless access that public blockchains actually enabled you to sort of leverage. And so we sort of came to the verdict that back then it was just too early to onboard enterprises to Web3. It was too experimental. And so we went into focusing on startups and we focus on helping startups outsource their infrastructure and build on top of Gelato services that we were started to build back then. And to this day, today we are over 40 people with offices now here in Zug, but also starting in New York City and Dubai. So Asia and North America are also covered now. And over 500 projects with the Web3 space, and companies are using our services, among them some of the biggest Web3 protocols that you might know. I think we got a small diagram here from like the Safe Team to MakerDAO to Aave to PancakeSwap, and then even enterprises that we will talk about later. So we now have a really solid portfolio of customers that we work together very closely with, and that we are very proud of. Yeah, so what is this verifiable cloud that we sort of mentioned at the beginning? And I want to introduce this topic very briefly because I think we will talk about more like the panels. And you, of course, probably all know what the cloud is, right? The cloud is like Google Cloud, for example. It's a place where you can delegate the computation of servers or to which run programs and applications that you might want to build, right? So if you are running a loyalty program, right, you're probably using AWS or Google Cloud in order to actually run the servers that will allow your users to, I don't know, get these loyalty points, transfer them, etc. But what blockchains try to do is it try to provide companies and developers with a platform that will actually enable them to do the same thing. You can delegate the computation of programs and the hosting of applications to a system, but in a verifiable way. What does it mean in a verifiable way? It means that if you're hosting, let's say, a loyalty program on your database that's hosted by you or by a cloud provider, then and no one really knows what is going on behind the scenes, right? You can change the ownership of certain like assets or these loyalty points from one day to another. If you feel like it, you can delete the loyalty points from one customer if you don't like this customer anymore, right? So there's a lot of trust in brands that are run in this sort of traditional setting, right? You trust Binance that if you buy an asset, you get the best possible price, right? You trust Airbnb that you actually, these apartments exist that you see on the platform. You trust this company that hosts the loyalty programs that they won't just erase it the next day, right? And the verifiable cloud is something similar, but here there's no trust anymore. You can verify that you actually own these loyalty points that you got on a certain blockchain. And why am I not talking about a blockchain here? Why am I not talking about Ethereum? Because things are changing. Ethereum doesn't scale, right? We used to build on these public blockchains and we all run into the same bottlenecks all over again. Gas prices are being high and we are hitting limits. The sort of world we lived in, which is like you choose a blockchain and there you build on this, it doesn't exist anymore. This is at least our hypothesis. We are now moving to what we call a verifiable cloud where, again, every company, every enterprise, every developer will have their own servers. They will be able to leverage their own sort of hosted servers, but this time it's not just like a centralized database that you can control. It's a verifiable server. It's your own blockchain that you own, and this blockchain is connected to many, many other blockchains in the world, and you can horizontally scale the system to, at some point, really service the needs of everyone in the world. And we have experts, of course, from OP Polygon, and of course Celestia and Avail here that can talk a lot more about it. But we're very bullish about this concept. And yeah, it provides a lot of benefits to enterprises. First of all, you can give true ownership over assets or, let's say, loyalty points or these sort of use cases to your customers. They don't have to trust you. They really own this. And I experienced this phenomenon when I bought my first NFT. Like, I bought an NFT, and 2 years later, I looked at my old wallet and I still saw it lying around there. I'm like, this thing is still there. Like, this is weird. Like, I own this forever. It will be as long as Ethereum exists, it will be in this wallet and it will never go away. So it was a really unique moment in time when we realized, okay, this is actually true digital ownership. I never had this before. It also enhances security and transparency. These systems are verifiable, transparent. You don't have to prove that you're doing something right. You don't have to have people come in and audit you to prove that you're doing things right. You can actually show it. People can verify it, right? This also reduces costs for auditors to come in and make sure you're actually doing these processes correctly, right? Composability is a big one. And let's say you have these loyalty point systems, you can have developers come in, use them in their games. You can use them to financialize them, to trade them, to lend them, to borrow them. There's this whole world that opens up through this permissionless open APIs that Web3 is all about. And then, of course, now with moving from public blockchains where you really have no control over the environment, you don't know where the validators are, who are running them, right? We're now moving to a world of layer 2s and these verifiable servers. There you can actually get the scale you need because you don't have to share your server anymore with 1,000 other applications. You can have your own dedicated server. And you can potentially even add things like compliance, right? Maybe you can't accept transactions from anyone in the world. Maybe you need to limit the access to the server to certain people that have fulfilled KYC or AML, right? You can now do these things while still being interoperable with the entire universe of public blockchains, Ethereum, and so on. And yeah, this is what we are really bullish on in Gelato, and we call ourselves Web3's cloud platform. And yeah, we want to expose these new innovations to projects, startups, and enterprises, and provide them with like an end-to-end solution that provides them with the environment to build what we call verifiable applications. And it really consists of two parts, the bottom part and the top part. And the bottom two parts is really what we call our roll-up business service platform. We allow you to launch your own roll-up, your own layer 2. And what it is you can have your own verifiable server, your own dedicated instance where only your rules apply, but you have direct interoperability with Ethereum, with Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, all the favorite blockchains that you want to sort of access. But you have it all in a hosted environment where you don't have to deal with the complexity of actually running blockchains at scale in production, which are quite cumbersome to do. But we don't only provide that, we also have our usability layer or services layer on top. And this consists of tools such as our relaying service, which allows you to abstract the necessity from your users to pay for gas, make it easy to interact with the applications for Web 2 users with like social login, for example. It allows you to connect your smart contracts to data that live on your servers or somewhere in the web to HTTP. So we have all these services on a single platform ready for you to use and spin up in seconds. And yeah, rather than having to talk with 10 different entities, you just have it all on a single platform. And the benefits here, of course, you can leverage on our infrastructure that is built on GCP, is globally distributed, highly reliable, very scalable, and you get this end-to-end access to our solutions. And of course, you have us as an expert team. We have a lot of experience, over 7 years of actually running infra in the space, and of course, very happy and eager to help you. Yeah, we have a lot of chains that are in production, from gaming chains to some of the largest DeFi chains, YTVL, perpetual DEXs, to AI-powered chains, to real-world asset chains, and soon also the first enterprise chain. So doesn't matter the use case, we have experience in helping you sort of realize what you want to build. And this is just like an example use case I want to show of a project we are really excited about. It's called Raya. And what are the benefits of them actually sort of building on Gelato's robo service platform? First of all, they're trying to kind of like rebuild what Binance is, right? But Binance, of course, is a centralized entity. You never know. You're always scared to have your assets there. Maybe tomorrow they're gone because there's a hack and all your cryptos get compromised and seized or stolen by hackers, right? The cool thing about Raya is you own your assets. They are never leaving your wallet. They're fully non-custodial. So if someone wants to hack Raya, they need to hack Ethereum, right? Or of course, they need to steal your private key. But as long as you hold your private key safe, no one can ever touch your assets. So it's fully non-custodial. It is like Binance from a user experience point of view. It's instant, 250 millisecond response times, and no gas. You just click a button, and using our relaying service, users can directly interact with the application. It's super transparent, so it's not like, okay, does Binance actually give me the best price when I buy this asset? Is that actually what is happening? Right here, it's fully transparent. It's a fair ordering. The margins, the liquidations or like margin positions are happening fully transparently. It's not like FTX where they're privileged actors that get to trade against everyone else and no one knows what's going on. Everything is publicly verifiable, right? It really scales nicely because it has its own server, right? It doesn't share the block space with anyone else. And you can interoperate directly. You can withdraw from Binance theoretically directly to this chain because you can go to Arbitrum with a bridge to Raya network and you're right there. So a lot of really cool features that, like, I believe that in the next years we could see someone really displace the big centralized exchanges using these technologies. Yeah, and of course, we have our first enterprise chain that we are super excited to announce. And I think we have someone from the Fox team here as well in the audience that want to speak and give us a quick roundup of what they are actually building, because I think it's an amazing use case, which is not like financial, like directly financial related, but I'm super excited about it. So please come on stage and show us what you guys are building.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily. I'm the director of product at Fox in our emerging tech team, and super excited to be here. I didn't prepare anything, but we have been working with Gelato on Verify, and what Verify is our protocol that allows media publishers to attest ownership over their assets and then open up that distribution to downstream to end consumers or other consumers. So primarily focused on big tech and big AI right now, and really creating a way for content provenance, but also further monetization opportunities for media publishers. We've started with Fox content and all of our kind of in-house brands, so 23 of them to start, and have some big announcements coming next week with external publishers as well to join the verified party. We've been signing content since last August on Polygon, but really, as Hilmar mentioned, a lot of reasons why we needed to go to our own chain. It's been really great to work with them to bring verified L2 to life. So we'll definitely touch on it more in the panel later today, but really kind of got mandate with this exploration of when we saw ChatGPT really take off and the insane user adoption. How could we kind of not just take a defensive posture against what was happening in a world where Gen AI was really taking off as a media publisher, and create, both an offensive and defensive way for publishers, not just Fox, but really pave a technical path forward to enable a lot of new use cases for both publishers and builders to access content they didn't have before, and then really open up a new ecosystem for end user applications.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing use case that really shows that also on the intersection of AI and Web3, and it's not just like a copy paste of another use case that was already done before. It's really unique, and it shows like this verifiable computation, why it's important. You can really open up this platform to any publisher in the entire world, right? And the rules that are encoded on this verifiable server, they are equal to anyone, and you don't have to trust Fox that they are upholding what they are sort of programming there. It's just like you as a completely different publisher come in and you know exactly what you're getting, right? So it's a whole new design of how to build applications and use cases like this. So I'm actually really excited about our partnership, and of course it's powered by the Polygon CDK stack, which have been also amazing partners here that are building the tech that actually makes this happen. Cool, so that's already it. Thanks a lot for your attention. Of course, the team is around you. You know our marketing team, Louis. Some of our engineers are also here. If you ever have questions around how you can actually enter the space, how you can build an application using your own chain, feel free to talk to us. We have a lot of experience and happy, of course, to help you out here. So thanks a lot.